the season.
He actually won the best and fairest in 09 or 2010. I can't remember what year, but he's playing better footy this year than he did those years. So these conditions are going to suit him. He'll have another big day.
Two teams we expect to be finals contenders in 2013. This is an important game for both, and we're underway. And the perfect palm down. Jacobs to Thompson. Wide ball. Mzungu tracks it. Gets there before Van Berlo. Rolls it toward the boundary. Fife, clean pick on the run. Took it to the line. And if you didn't join us for the intro, a late change to either team. Cameron Sutcliffe in for Fremantle and Alex Silvani out. And Brodie Martin in for Adelaide. And Sean McKernan was the late out for the Crows. Crowley. They'll be doing some tagging work, no doubt, this afternoon, but gets a touch to take it towards Otten. Kept it alive. Nice 1-2 with Brown. Tight ropes the boundary nicely. Good attack from Spur. Clark dished it up. Duffield going nowhere.
At this early stage, it looks like Andy Otten has been nominated as the +1 or the loose across halfback for the Adelaide Crows. That leaves Michael Johnson as the spare for Freo at the other end.
That's dangerous.
Barlow just sat on De Boer for a little while. Barlow gets it back. Hammered forward by Spur. Ballantyne played for the free but didn't get it. Almost a turnover. Main slides into that and almost slid into the leg of Otten. Oops. Play on the call. Mzungu won't try and claim the mark. Plays on quickly. Subin. It'll roll through anyway. Subin kicks it off the deck. And Freo get the opener.
I'd suggest that'll be typical of what the play we'll see. It'll be very scrappy play. You get a lot of goals getting out over the back and tunneling them across the line. Good numbers for the Adelaide Crows at the contest, but the ball's gone high into a dangerous position. Really good work from Mzungu, not to take possession, but just get it on the boot, get it moving forward.
He kicked 3 last week too, Mzungu, so he's another midfielder that's pushing forward and kicking goals. Brodie Smith got the ball from Adelaide. He tried to clear the ball. He put it back into the middle, as you said, and put it in a very bad spot. Good start, Freo.
Nick Subin getting the chance to start this week. Came on as the sub last week against Melbourne, and the game was well and truly over by the time he got on. And that game was over at 10 minutes in, but he got on late, had only a little bit of game time. Vince gets it up to Douglas. Tackled nicely by Clark. No prior opportunity, so ball up.
So it looks like Crowley there at the moment is going. He's with Dangerfield and Thompson at the moment. He's been swapping around a bit, trying to confuse them.
Thompson on hands and knees, ball going nowhere. These two teams met 3 times last year, twice in the home and away season obviously, and once in the finals, and Adelaide won all 3. 2 of those 3 battles here at Amy Stadium. Crowley missed his boot. Jacobs missed his boot. It's going to be that kind of game, you think?
It is, you'd think.
Nicely found, at least by Van Berlo, but didn't travel far. Mzungu caught, mad scramble. Petrenko tried to shovel it out, got to his feet, came up the hill, he got a first touch, back into the team after the quad injury.
Got one on the left ear.
Okay, Duffield. Out to Daniel Pearce, back to his old home ground.
Good kick.
Main.
That's that work rate again. That was a 100-metre lead.
To Subin, to De Boer, he's got a couple to beat, he was bumped in the marking contest. Umpire let it roll, and it rolls out.
Yeah, good result there for Freo there, to the ball to roll out just in the forward pocket here. Watch Sammy Jacobs now, you just about bet he's just going to hit it down straight in front. If you're a Freo small forward, you'd be running in the front of the pack.
And Fife on cue for you, Roo, well done. Couldn't quite get it at speed like he wanted to. Thompson. Jenkins, hand to it to poor pleasure. Duffield dives in. Lynch won't be kicking 10 today, you wouldn't think. Thompson gets it up just in time. Mad scramble forward with Smith. Petrenko. Poor pleasure. Van Berlo. No prior. Got a kick away. Jenkins knocks it to where he'd like to be, but there's nobody. Dawson. Mzungu. Sat under that for a little while. Lyons couldn't pull the mark in. Thompson. Crowd on a free. Umpire doesn't give it.
Yeah, he didn't get fooled by the crowd noise there, the umpire, which is good because the free wasn't there, even though he was on the bottom of the pack. So good decision, umpire.
So McKay already hurt in the hands of trainers. We'll keep an eye on that. Barry Hall on that boundary line. Sloane bounces one. Jenkins couldn't control it. Dawson got down low. Spur taken across.
And Crowley certainly is paying close attention to Patrick Dangerfield, giving him no space whatsoever, and a bit happening off the ball as we see front of screen there. And he will be within 2 or 3 centimetres, I would have thought, at this stoppage.
Let's go down to Barry Hall shortly, because it looks as if McKay might be going down to the rooms.
Oh, good tackle, Rory Sloane.
Yeah, Hill was on the run. Didn't really have prior. He'd taken one step, but at full steam. Crowd still roaring for ball. Hero from last week, Kerridge. A bounce forward from Smith.
Well done, Spur.
Daniel Pearce.
Tackling pressures is right up there.
Yeah, this is quality stuff. Even though it might look a little ugly, it's still a quality attack on the ball from every player on both sides.
Well, coaches want to see this. Adelaide have had 10 tackles already, so when they haven't got the ball in hand, they're certainly attacking the ball carrier.
Smith, the big thump forward, and we'll see that a bit today. Jenkins held his ground.
Well done.
Just gets the handball. Lyons. Little fumble from Vince Thompson. It's a cake of soap right now. Good pickup. Dangerfield on the move. Otten. It might float the pack. Ibbotson read it. Thumped it through.
Talk about Chris Mayne's work ethic, Lynchy. He's down in the defensive 50 trying to get the ball at the moment. So the Freo really prepared to work hard up and down the field.
Well, with that match up with Daniel Talia, I think he's on. Athletically, how will Talia go?
He went with Revolt, Nick Revolt last week against St Kilda. Mind you, he said at the end of the game he's never been so tired in his life, but he did go with him for the whole game, so he'll keep up with Chris Mayne.
Johnson told to go. Spur. It's one-on-one footy at the moment. Norton takes it away from Subin's grasp.
Boys, you talk about the tackles. It's been Adelaide's probably weak area for a year and a half.
Yep.
This year, averaging 46 tackles, which is 10 less than any other side. So they need to get that right today if they're any hope.
Yeah, they're well on track.
Mundy gets the scrambling kick forward. De Boer, and it's an open forward line if they can get it forward. Subin tries the tackle.
Foot race here.
In Ballantyne's direction. He's got 3 to beat here. Ballantine off the deck's the option. Goes off the deck, hits the post.
That's right, he had no time to stop and pick the ball up, and nearly made the most of a half opportunity.
Lions. Kerridge.
Now Johnson's just loitering 40 metres from this, so Adelaide have to use it short.
So Lions to Smith. Now Sloane could be the man. No, he ignores him, goes central. Van Berlo drops it. Johnson. Clark. Duffield. Sits it on Pearce. Knocked down from Lyons. Fife. Clancy Pearce this time. That could be ball. He got it in the back 3. Okay.
It's a tricky one, that one, isn't it, Dwayne? Because he did drop it, but he did get in his back. So what comes first? It's an interesting call.
Yeah, I'm not sure the umpire thought he had prior opportunity there. I think that might have cut him some slack. Had he had prior opportunity, I think that was ball. Johnson chips in Bundy's direction. Bundy didn't think it was his ball initially. Riley almost cut it off. Duffield squeezes it forward. Mazungu on the run, kicks it goal. This will bounce and roll and tumble and turn. Mayne, he's Talia out of it. Got a handball up. Mazungu. Fantastic smother. That is a brilliant smother. Umpire says keep going, boys. Just tough heart, wet weather footy.
Don't think he had too much choice about that smother.
That was amazing. Petrenko, bang. Clark got him in the ear. This is 70s football.
Well, people say footy's not tough anymore. Have a look at this. This is Rory Laird, the young fella. Bang!
Big foul.
It was the ball that hit him in the head, not the boot, though. So
Courage, though, isn't it? You know it's coming.
And it was a choice, actually. He threw himself out the boot.
Good young footballer, Rory Laird.
Lynch goes long. Dangerfield caught behind. Oh, he rode Crowley. He feeds back, and the crowd roar. Scores a level.
Nice use of the body and understanding from his teammates. Patrick Dangerfield getting the ball over the back. And that's going to be one of the really important things from a defensive point of view. Just can't let your forward turn you around. Here's the smother. Dives at the boot. Cops one in the face. And stops the goal. And that lifts your team all around the field. Here's a long kick in there. Dangerfield was probably out of position, just edged his opponent under the ball. I think Freo supporters were saying that's a marking contest and probably a shove in the back. Patrick Danger, goal. Dangerfield, he's a potent player, isn't he?
He's as good in the forward line as he is in the middle of the ground.
Oh,
seriously,
absolutely.
one-on-one, his explosiveness is just about impossible to match up on.
Very similar to an old number 32.
Oh, yeah.
Well, think Joe Watson too, boys. These blokes who can go forward just make it so hard to be tagged.
Yeah, if he can do it for another 100 or 200 games, he's about to hit the 100 mark next week, Patrick Dangerfield. It's been a splendid 99 to watch so far. Again, 15 players around this ball trying to get it out. Clancy Pearce kicks smothered. There's Laird again, got it out.
He's a +1.
High bomb from Douglas. Oh, Dangerfield back of the pack, used his body again. It's a carbon copy. He's got two.
Again, getting the ball over the back is a huge issue. Again, did he push his opponent under the ball legally? I'm not sure Ryan Crowley would agree. Now, he takes front position here. Now, he knows he wants the ball deep. Draws the ball deep, edges his opponent under the ball. I think that's fair enough. Didn't have a hand in the back. You can edge your opponent under the ball, and that is a really good goal for the Adelaide Crows. Great build-up, Roo.
Yeah, it's pretty poor defence by Freo, really, and Crowley was caught in the front spot, but needed to do better there with Michael Johnson the loose. And you can see Ross Lyon there, absolutely filthy. If they're going to have a loose, go back further, Michael, and come at the ball. You don't want the ball to be kicked over your head in wet conditions.
Absolutely, and as you said about midfielders going forward with their tag players, there's one player out of that pair that's really comfortable in that position. Ryan Crowley isn't.
No.
Yeah, midfielders can tag midfield, but they can't play full back, in essence.
No, that's right, and that's the same with ruckman. I mean, if you can isolate a ruckman at full back, it's a massive advantage.
Crozier. Fremantle respond. There's no one in the square. Main's getting back there. There's three Crows and Main. And Otten could save hands.
A huge ask. What Freo was trying to do there was trying to make it contest at the goal, top of the goal square, but just really hard when you're outnumbered that dramatically.
Lyons made it impossible for Thompson. Clark, good athlete. Thompson finds the line. Umpire said that's okay. Let's go down to the boundary line. Barry Hall.
Yeah, boys, real concerning. We spoke about McKay going down the ribs. He hasn't come up yet, so that's a real concern. Their sub in Martin's been warming up quite a bit, so concerning things for Adelaide players. But yeah, he once he comes up, I'll let you all know.
Thanks, Barry. Line dragged down. Break free. Jared Lyons, and there is another in the hands of trainers.
Yeah, it's the few players down, which is not a good
That's
sign.
Kerridge in the hands of trainers. Is it the hero from last week?
Yeah, that would be good news.
Gee, that'd be dramatic if they lost two in the opening 10 minutes. Inside 50 they are. Duffield got there. Johnson. The ricochet, the chaos ball. Daniel Pearce does the right thing, really. Hanneth back home, Central District's boy. Van Berlo. Front spot McFarlane. Just knocked that to Johnson nicely.
Yep.
Duffield, Ibbotson, boundary.
We talked about those loose players behind the ball, Lynchy. You really got to go back, like in cricket. You don't field 30 metres in from the line. You go right back at the line and attack the ball. It's so much easier coming forward at it than going back, especially in the wet.
Clark and Jacobs. Barlow and Fife fought for that, and neither got it away in the end. Scott Thompson also going nowhere.
If things persist with the Dangerfield matchup, we see at the top of the goal square now with Crowley and also Michael Johnson. I think maybe an issue is Johnson's more adept at playing full back. Maybe he goes on. Crowley's not the ideal +1, but might be a better option.
Sloan Smith 1-2. Good centering kick in the end, and Petrenko made it look perfect.
Yeah, he kicked the winning goal last week, Jared Petrenko, after being a inclusion that week, and a really desperate young footballer who has a crack. He goes harder at the ball than most players in the competition. Really want to see him succeed. He deserves it, and hopefully he can go back and kick a goal.
So one of the heroes for Adelaide in their comeback win last week from 30 points down in the final term is off. Sam Kerridge with trainers attending him. The other, Petrenko, drills it through, and they're 2 goals up.
really impressive start after Fremantle got off to a good start at the other end. Here's some... Sloane takes the handball and dishes it off. Now, this is Smith, who gets the ball inside or over to Sloane, and Sloane to the top of the goal square in a really dangerous position, which was hard to defend because you're trying to protect the goal line, but once you put it out in front, you get off the mark.
Look at Rory Sloane. He is tailor-made for these conditions, boys. He'll be very good in tight today.
Petrenko off to a good start. His third disposal. And here the crowd's starting to get involved. They're wet, but they're very happy and enthusiastic with this start.
They've come, though. They have come, the Adelaide Crow fans. Fife to half forward, off hands. Laird, Talia, Otten. And now a race. Daniel Pearce hunting down Van Berlo. Takes him to the line and keeps it alive. Doesn't get a free ball in.
And boys, some good news. McKay has come up from the dugout, and look, he did do some runs. He looks a bit proppy to me, so he'll come back on, but keep an eye on him.
Voices hearing this afternoon: Barry Hall, Mark Rasciuto and Alistair Lynch, all premiership players in their own right. Great to have them here at AAMI Stadium for the broadcast this afternoon. Sloane. Every Fremantle player in front of him, so goes back to Rutt.
Interesting choice. I thought it'd still be okay to bomb it long there, to even with the +1 there. It's still going to be hard to take overhead marks, so they're still choosing to throw the ball around by foot or kick it around by foot just to try and get close enough so they can penetrate the inside 50.
Pull the trigger here, I'd suggest. Long.
Van Berlo keeps it low to the top of the square. Clancy Pearce out of play.
Yeah, that was a missed kick, boys, by Van Berlo. He needed to kick it with a bit of flight if you're going to give your forwards any chance of grabbing it. A short or a low, hard kick is twice as hard to catch it.
Hush falls over AAMI Stadium. Good spot here for a ball in for Adelaide. Kerridge back on. Couldn't quite.
Clearances are 11-6, boys, in favour of Adelaide in this first quarter, and tackles 17-11 in favour of Adelaide. Sanderson will be very happy with that.
Dangerfield came off for a spell. He's back on the ground now, but Crowley can't get back on. So Patrick Dangerfield will be very happy with the relief of the close tagger from Fremantle. He's stuck on the bench.
Ibbotson.
After that start, actually, I think Ryan Crowley will be fairly relieved as well, just at the moment.
Jacobs waits back and Rutten went for the mark. I'm not sure if he called him in or not. Said it's yours.
Rutten had set up as one of those defensive sweepers there as well, so read the ball in the air very well.
Lynch, can he get up? Oh, McFarlane also likes a leap and a mark. Couldn't complete that one. Mundy. Hill. Barlow. They want the open side. Dangerous kick. Subin dumps it. Good attack again from Laird. Put his body on the line. Hard hit. And now wrapped up. Ball up.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with those short kicks in the defensive 50 today, I would have thought.
Quick ball up. Jacobs down to Douglas. No prior. And then almost threw it away. And did throw it to Barlow. Laird under this again. Oh, he drops this one. And McKay getting a fitness test after coming back on.
See, high ball. Some good work behind from young Smith just to put the block on, but Mark wasn't able to be taken.
Elbows together.
Exactly, Dwayne. I was going to say that would hole in the bucket.
You've done a few clinics in your time, Roo, both on field and off field, of course. Back to the hot spot. Duffield takes the saving mark.
Just a footnote, Crowley's still stuck on the bench, can't get on.
Daniel Pearce. So Dangerfield will run the midfield whilst Crowley's off. Will he go back to full forward when he comes back on? That's the key there.
Yep.
Hill likes to run. He's got Ballantyne. Ballantyne gets there and he can line up from there. He's within range. Plays on quickly, centering ball. Mundy sits under it. Dangerfield in the midfield, enjoying his afternoon at the office.
Well, that was silly stuff by Ballantyne. He's a goal kicker. Go back and kick the goal from 45 metres.
And he kicked the ball to a position where you weren't going to make the distance even if you took the mark.
Better angle.
Into the breeze. So not a good choice or execution.
What would Ross Lyon be saying there now, Lynchy?
Yeah, very similar to what happened earlier when Dangerfield kicked his second goal, I would have thought. Why'd that happen again? Something like that, really.
Beep, beep.
Smith breaks the tackle. Lynch got hands up there. Ibbotson couldn't quite. Jenkins does, but straight to Clancy Pearce. And that's what they want. They want to reload if they can to the open side. Johnson to Hill. Scores from turnover. Such a big stat in 2013, arguably the biggest stat in the game these days. Johnson tries to dance his way around, just gets foot on ball. The ball makes it okay. No Pryor, broke through Jenkins to Pearce. Crowley taking Dangerfield forward this time, and he slips him nicely. Can he get a goal in reply? Sends it long, goal square. Muzungu, he keeps it in, much to Richard Douglas's delight.
It was worth the attempt, I think, just to keep the ball in and see if one of his teammates were there. But they may pay the price in the rebound.
Yeah, Sloan Petrenko, they've got the loose man, and this is the loose man. Lions, no one's in the square. If he goes long, it might slide all the way home. Oh, not quite.
And Tom Lynch is just saying he didn't see me. He was 40 metres out dead in front of goals by himself, but Lions elected to take the shot instead.
Well, as we talk about Crowley taking Dangerfield forward, Ryan Crowley's actually very good himself in the forward 50. He kicks goals when he tags, so he'll be trying to take Dangerfield down there as often as he can.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to put pressure on him on the scoreboard to make sure that Patrick Dangerfield is more accountable.
Spur. Hannah and Clark both there. Clark got the hands on it, couldn't complete it. Again, Crozier with the crumb to half forward and nobody home. Ballantyne was there. Coming hard Brown. Ballantyne wraps him up and he drops it. And now it's free for Fremantle. They've got the loose man. Fife, Pearce, Ballantyne, Main's over the top. Crozier is over the top. He goes to Crozier and he's still got the handball if he wants it. He ignores Barlow.
Well, that was a smart kick by Ballantyne. Not an easy kick in these conditions as well, but a smart kick. And Crozier's just got to go back. He's only 35 metres out here. It's not an easy kick with a bit of right to left breeze, but he's an AFL footballer and he should be able to go back and slot this.
Kicked 2 goals, 3 last week, Hayden Crozier. Still eligible for an AB Rising Star nomination. One of the young rising guns of the competition, and that is a gem. That's why he's a star. I needed that, the Dockers.
A good build-up and good work rate from Fremantle. Now, have a look at David Mundy here once he gets involved here. Now, he turns around to stay involved with this contest. Some good work from Pearce to get it over to Ballantyne. But watch Mundy. He puts a block on Ottens there, then goes across and puts another block on, and Main, sorry. Just allows that block and easy mark and goal. So, Main, we're talking about his great work rate, and again, it was evident then.
So Crozier to the bench, Muzungu, Daniel Pearce, Stephen Hill, and the sub Cameron Sutcliffe for Fremantle. Wobbly bounce to restart it, down to Dangerfield. Crowley had him and he's still got a kick away. Barlow, ricochet, led. A good 50-metre bomb. Petrenko couldn't trap it. Clancy Pearce to Ibbotson. And it's a good quality contest at the moment. Richard Douglas. Lynch. Just a required 15, that pass. And he can line up from just inside the 50 for the instant reply.
It appears if any end is being favoured by the breeze, it's to the end that the Crows are kicking at this stage. So he should get the journey, even though the ball is reasonably wet at this stage of the first term.
No need to tell you. Kicked 10 goals against Greater Western Sydney a couple of weeks ago. And he's in goal-kicking form. from 48. Strikes it well. Just misses.
Well, it's certainly interesting how Adelaide are playing their footy. It's possession football. They're not kicking it long. It's, as I said, really keeping possession, short chips. It's a unique way to play in the wet, but it's working for them.
Ball thumped clear of Clancy Pearce, and it stays alive. Petrenko collects his own work to Jacobs. He keeps it alive. To the hot spot. Knocked away, Clark. Tried for Clancy Pearce, stolen by Douglas. And that's probably ball. He had a long time to get rid of it. And had Pryor. Umpire cuts him some slack. They lead by a goal and a half. Baz, as we see this tackle again. They lead by a goal and a half, Adelaide. What's that breeze worth, do you think?
I reckon a goal or two. It's a slight breeze, but there is something there.
Okay, so it's about the margin they've got now. 9 points. 25 minutes gone, 2 minutes 42 left in the opening term.
Adelaide have the extra player at the stoppage, and Fremantle at this stage have got the one defensively at the top of the goal square.
Holding free, and it's Adelaide's ball, and McKay will take it.
This will test him. He's a beautiful kick.
Hands it up instead. Smith. Gee, that's a good pump.
Flush that.
Is it going to come back? Just enough. Or was it touched?
Touched.
Just enough and just enough.
Well, it wasn't a great handball from McKay to Smith, and set him up a little bit, but geez, he flushed it off the right leg off a couple of steps.
It was a one wood with half a backswing, wasn't it?
That's right. A little fade at the end.
Duffield. Main to leap from 3 deep here.
Inside 50s, 13-8 in favour of the Adelaide Crows. And those clearances still dominated by the Crows, 15-7. Tackles starting to balance up a little bit. The tackles, 21-18 in favour of the Crows.
Well, Thompson's just given Pearce one, boys.
Yes. Didn't get away with it either.
No love lost there in the showdowns, boys, with Pearce and Thompson.
Long memories. He's made a great start at his new club, Daniel Pearce. Nice one-hander, Zach Dawson. That's a tough ball to grab. Thump to the deck. Crozier sharked it nicely. Subin tries to shrug.
Great tackle.
He tried to fend off, and in some umpires' eyes, that's Pryor. If you put the hand out to fend off, that's your Pryor.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. He's trying to fend off the tackler. Yep. There. That's your Pryor opportunity. Well and truly gone.
Yep. Got it wrong there, the umpire.
Jacobs gets some protection. Kerridge. A wobbler. Van Berlo. Well, he was going for the man, not the boundary.
I don't know if Ross Lyon wants to tag two blokes in the midfield, but we said Rory Sloane's tailor-made for these conditions. He's had 10 disposals already in this first quarter.
So the man that he is tagging, Patrick Dangerfield, about to come back on the ground.
Barlow to Mundy to Daniel Pearce on that left. And in the hole, taking a good mark, Smith.
Going to be a very good footballer, Brodie Smith. He was a top draft pick a couple of years ago. He brings some speed to the Adelaide side. Him and David McKay, very important just because they've got that leg speed through the middle of the ground.
He was a pick 14, Smith. They have invested a bit in him. Done well in their draft picks in the last few years, the Adelaide Crows. Matt Rendell, you've got to take your hat off to him.
Yep.
Vince Long standing under at 5. Overcommitted, really. Just got a hand on it and got a handball away, but it's turned over. Dangerfield can pump it. And it's a mark.
Good
on
mark.
The line by Spur.
That was a great mark.
Great grab. Lee Spur. Been very impressive with the Freo Dockers since he's been there.
Yep.
Since being a good South Australian player since coming from Queensland.
He played for Central Districts here in the SANFL. He played in a few flags, but great catch. That was not an easy mark at all, full stretch.
So two ruckmen, really. Crowley and Dangerfield, and Clark all went at it. Laird to Van Berlo. Fife, almost stolen by Paul Pleasure. Had a big piece of it. Flicked out to McKay. To Kerridge. Disciplined centering kick, McFarlane.
He's a good defender, boys, isn't he? They're a much better side when he's playing good footy at half-back, full-back.
To Duffield, wasn't 15, and that is 15, but it's over the head of Hill. Ball in He's on all-Australian pace again this year, McFarlane.
Yeah, he is, and rightly so. I mean, I think he's the most important player for Freo. And that's with due respect to Matthew Pavlich and Sanderlands, but I think structurally he's extremely important.
Yep.
Well, one thing it does do, it frees up Johnson. He can be that floater. He's a really important player for him too, Johnson.
Yep.
Good call, Baz.
From the knockdown. Smith. Vince on the siren. Had a chance to put it up long. Didn't know how long left. But a quality opening term here at Amy Stadium. First day of winter, and the football gods have turned it on with perfect timing. It's been raining all night. Been raining all